Hi, welcome to Alexander's Greek Kitchen. Today we are going to learn how to make baklava. Baklava is a Greek dessert that's been made traditionally Middle Eastern and Greek for centuries. It's a very thin phyllo dough. It's a dough that's rolled out into sheets really fine, and what you do is you layer it and butter it with nuts and sugar, and then you make a syrup on the side that you pour on top after it bakes, and it comes out absolutely fabulous. The first thing I did was I chopped 4 cups of nuts and I put them in a bowl. You want them coarsely, kind of coarsely chopped up. You don't want them totally fine. Second thing I add is a cup of sugar. Trust me, this is not a dietary product. You're going to have lots of sugar. Let me get some cinnamon, because I'm going to be back over here to use it again. And I pour generously about a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon in with the nuts. And my final ingredient to go in the nuts is a little bit of mastica. Mastica is true gum. It comes from the gum plant. Anytime you read on a package something that says gum abstract, this is the true stuff that comes from the gum tree, and the only place you can find it is in the island of Chios in Greece in Asia Minor. And what we do is, with this crystallized tree sap, or the true gum, is I take and I crush it between 2 spoons. You could use a pestle and mortar too, but this is a lot faster and easier. Once I've crushed it down to little crystals, and as you can see it gets crystallized, I pour some of this into the sugar and nuts mixture. And that gives this wonderful vanilla mastica flavor. So I take the nut mixture with the sugar and the cinnamon and the nuts, and I mix that. I'm going to now proceed to go over there and get the syrup ready. Cups of water. You take 2 cups of sugar. Oh yeah, lots of goodies. And then you take some honey, which I'm thinking about, a nice generous helping. Oh, that's so good. Cinnamon, about 2 tablespoons. 2 teaspoons. And then squeeze it and drop the lemon in. Squeeze it and drop the lemon in. Put your flame up on high to get it going. And then you'll be using a wooden spoon to stir it and to get it, if there's any foam on top, you take that foam off during the process of boiling as it goes along. Water. I also like to add a couple whole cloves, maybe about 3 or 4 or 5 whole cloves, which I will take out of there later when I take the lemons out too. So let's see how we got this butter going. You don't have to leave the butter on here and melt the whole thing down. Once you get some going, you can always, take it. I'm going to pour some in the pan. You take your pan and you grease it really well, all up on the side, all the way around, all the sides up, on the floor, on the bottom. This is just, starting to smell wonderful. Now I can unwrap my phyllo dough. It helps to have a very large surface area to do this in, and therefore you're not pressed for space. Here's your 18 sheets of phyllo dough, and trust me, you're going to use most of it, all of it. So, this is what phyllo looks like. I'm trying to get the sheets separated. And what I do is I take them, fold them in half, and the first one I'm going to put over the side, on either side. Over the side, on either side. Butter your phyllo, because if you don't, it'll dry up or cook in the air. So you will get a little messy, but don't worry. A little butter cleans up real easy. Then I take another sheet and I put it over this side, and one more over the fourth side. There we go. Beautiful. I can move this up a little bit. Take some butter, butter this. And then also when you do the inside of the pan, you try to form your pan out so that it's nice and square inside. And then you can hold the phyllo as you butter it. But remember what I said, try to get it square inside. Ah, this is just wonderful. Then I take one sheet in half and I do my very bottom inside. Nice. Also want to you want to have a nice firm bottom. The bottom and the top should have at least 4 sheets, and then whatever you do in between. So I'm going to do one more on the bottom because that's the bottom is what soaks up all the syrup. Here it is in half again. Lay it in the bottom. What do? We butter. Oh yes. Ready for the first layer of nuts. I'm doing my first layer of sugar, nuts, cinnamon, and mastica. The mastica melts and gives it a little gummy texture and taste, which is just absolutely, it's hard to explain unless you have had it before. There's your first layer. Then all you need to do, and then if you feel like you need to get some, in the corners, you use your spoon. Beautiful. So, look at that. Fold that in. Fold this in. Butter. Butter as you fold. Because you want to get all the, take this and fold the 2 sides in and then the outside in. You're doing a phyllo is really easy to work with as long as you go pretty fast. If not, it does dry up on you and you do have problems working with it. Then it gets crusty and beautiful. Look at that. Now all I'm going to do is layer upon layer. I need this to think by rushing. I made a little bit of a mistake there. And it's 2 cups of water and 2 cups of sugar, not 4. I was thinking of something else. So I'm going to have to modify the syrup so when I come back you'll see the proper amounts of what you need to put in there. I will reschool us on that. I just kind of make squares, and then if I want to do the diagonal, I can cut the square in a diagonal half and make those. So I'm just going to score this in like nice sized pieces. Because this one is just for family, and family likes to not fool around but have big pieces. Then I turn it this way and I cut. I'm not cutting all the way through, I'm just cutting the top layers of phyllo dough. And these are going to be huge pieces of baklava. That's all right. Kind of pour it over the top because you really can't use your brush on it. You'll pick up all the little pieces. So what you want to do is lightly, if you can, and you know how, without disturbing all the pieces. That last bit of butter does help get the nice brown color to the phyllo dough. That is perfect. Sprinkle some cinnamon on top. For color and for taste. Just a little bit. And in the oven it goes. I have my oven set at 375 and I want it in there for at least an hour. When it looks like it's done, it's not. The worst thing you could do is undercook your phyllo dough and your baklava. I'm going to put this for 55 minutes so I can check it. And then after that I usually leave it for 10 more minutes. Meanwhile, while that's cooking, I babysit my syrup, I mix it. Of course, I'm going to have to reduce this down to 2 cups. And when we come back, I'll be pulling it out of the oven and showing you how to top off the baklava with the syrup. So now I have the syrup sitting boiling all this time. And how you check it is you bring it up on your wooden spoon and let it drip down. And if it drips down like it's almost like a loose honey, then you know it's done. And of course, we corrected the quantities of 2 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar with the lemon and the cinnamon and cloves. So, oh, this beauty is just about ready to come out of the oven. Oh, look at that. And I'm going to take my syrup. And I'm going to bring these items over here. Pot's a little bit warm. And I take my syrup and I slowly pour it over the baklava. And it's sizzling and the phyllo dough now is absorbing. Now I like to drench my baklava in this stuff. I did make a little bit extra because I wanted to make sure I had enough. As you can see, it's boiling in there. You're going to let this totally thoroughly cool, and when it's completely cooled off, you cut the squares and the syrup will have absorbed into the baklava, and it's going to be absolutely the best made baklava you've ever had. Thank you for joining us at Alexander's Greek Kitchen, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's to everyone. Sniasas.
Sniasas.
And Kali orexi.
Kali orexi.